So the market is tough right now in a lot of areas, and maybe you're thinking that you are ready to sell, but there's a lot of inventory and you know the market is going down, or maybe you're here because your home is on the market and you just can't get it sold. And I am sure that all of you are doing everything right. You have done everything you needed to, you updated, you staged, you hired the right agent, and your home is either sitting or you're just not sure what to do. In this video, I'm going to really break it down for you. I'm going to go over a couple of real life examples, and I'm going to explain to you what you need to do to get your home sold in this difficult of a seller's market. So let's get into it. So I have two stories that I want to talk to you about, specific real life examples, but we're in kind of a weird dynamic across the country. There are some markets that are still doing very well for sellers. So I sell in the North Shore of Chicago and in the St. Augustine, Florida area. And those markets are two totally different markets. In the Chicagoland area, people are paying 100, 200,000 over list price, and it's going in just like that. But I can feel the market shifting in that location. I can feel that we're just not getting as many showings, or we're just not getting as high offers as we would have thought. In the Florida market, you're really seeing things that are sitting longer. And the one thing that's pretty common across the whole country that is affecting the market, either tight inventory or a lot of inventory, is those interest rates. And unless they get down into the fives, it's going to be very hard for the market to open up a little bit. And that's because there are a lot of sellers who are sitting on a 2 and a 3% interest rate. And they do not want to, or they can't afford to buy a home at a 6 or a 7% rate and get a lesser home. So many people are just staying tight. They're staying put because they really have no other place to go. And then you have places in Florida, for example, you've got higher insurance, higher costs, and not as many people who are feeling like they need to leave the location that they're in because of COVID. So that market has kind of dried up a little bit. The problem is that those sellers are still thinking they can get those super high prices from COVID days. And so the reality is that the sellers and the buyers need to reset. Everybody sort of needs to reset, and I want you to take kind of a fresh look at what's going on. So the first story I want to give you came from somebody in my Facebook group. They can post their homes, their concerns, their questions about the house. And this one came up because this woman had mentioned that her house has been on the market for 2 years. Now, when I get something that says a home has been on the market for 2 years, I don't even need to look at it. I already know that the price is too high. But it's hard to say what that price should be when we're in a market that's kind of going down or that's stagnant. A lot of people are still thinking they were from 2 years ago, but they're not readjusting to the prices. So this home has been on the market for 2 years, and the price adjustments have been very minor, very small adjustments. So the house was listed for $520 2 years ago, and it has been just sort of riding the market down a little bit at a time. Also, what they did is they relisted the house as new, like a month or 2 months after they had taken it off the market to kind of make it fresh. Now that can work sometimes, but when you've been on the market that long, people can see it, especially in Zillow. Zillow does show the history. So that home had gone down to about $435, and then they actually went up to $450 because, you know, sometimes you can kind of try to be strategic about houses, but right now, after it's been on the market for that long, it really is just because the price is too high. So when I get somebody who's saying, why is my house not selling? And I will always say your price is too high. I know, blanket statement, your price is too high. But I try and dig in a little bit deeper to say, okay, are there some extenuating circumstances here? What do you need to be thinking about? What is your reality about what you're actually going to get? And as I dug into the house, I realized that it's actually a really nice home. Like, it's updated, it looks good, they've taken very good care of it. But there are a couple things, is that it is very close to an expressway. And if you have something that's kind of wrong with your house, then you need to make sure that the price is really attractive underneath where other homes really are going to be. So when you're thinking about your home, is there a reason why somebody might not want to buy it? It's a really important question because it's kind of like people don't really understand. They don't really know how much it's going to be, but it could mean something, because that means you're not going to get as many people looking at the house. And if you don't get as many people looking at the house, you're not going to get as many offers. And so ultimately that does take down the value of your home if you're not getting many people into the home. Now, this home is not in a great location, so there are probably fewer people who are coming in to see the home. So when I'm talking to sellers about this and I say, the price is too high, the question is what does that mean for you? And that's what I want all of you out there thinking about, okay? If you're thinking about selling right now, or you have a home that is not selling, you're putting it on the market, I really need you to think about this. The price that you want is not necessarily the price you are going to get. I think I have this conversation at least once a day with my viewers, either through emails or texts or in my Facebook group. As a seller, you have to remember the price that you want may not be the price that you're going to get because, as I've said before, a buyer sets the market. So if you've been on the market for 2 years and your house is priced at $450,000 and nobody's buying it, nobody's making a bid, you are not going to get what you want for your house. Now, I'm not just saying reduce the price. What I'm saying is come to Jesus, okay? You're going to have that come to Jesus moment. And that moment is, holy cow, we are not going to get what I wanted for the house. So now what? If you can't get that dollar amount that you want or need for your house, you've got to make some decisions. And it's not about just emailing me and telling me all these things about your house that makes it wonderful. If a buyer has not made an offer, your home is not worth that. I don't care who your agent is. Now, of course, you guys know I do care who your agent is, but if it's been on the market a long time, your photos are solid, and you're not getting any showings, you're not getting anybody in, you're not getting any feedback, then your price is just too high. Now, I'm not saying just reduce. That's not what I'm saying, because I know I'm going to get comments from you guys. All these agents are just greedy. They want what they want, and they just want us to reduce the price of the house. That is not true. What I'm saying is that you are not going to get what your home is worth. So now what? Are you going to rent it? Are you going to keep it? And don't tell me you are going to keep it until the market shifts, because what if it never shifts? What if we go into a major housing recession? What if the interest rates drop and more inventory floods the market because now people can move? What if? And now what? Are the questions that I want you to ask yourself and to answer for yourself. It's not just saying reduce it, reduce it. And we're going to get into a little bit more about pricing in a minute, but I want you to have that honest question answered by yourself. What if we can't sell it for the price that we want? And now what do we do? Before we get into the next story, I'm going to tell you, I want to make sure you guys download my seller's playbook. It is 40-page plus of ways to get your home sold. Now, there's a lot of information in there. It's free for you. Everything you need to kind of get started is in that playbook. It's been downloaded over 20,000 times. And so I just want to make sure that you guys are downloading. That is your very first step in figuring out how to get your home sold fast for more money, stress-free. So the next story I'm going to tell you is a seller who came to me because she is looking for an agent. I know I've told you guys this. You want to be the first love, the second marriage, and the third real estate agent in. And the reason you want that is because the first agent is always going to overprice the home. The second agent is going to get the price down a little bit, and the third agent is the one who eventually gets it sold because the sellers are like, just sell it already. So she had written to me because her house has been on the market a long time, like 10 months, and she is looking for her third agent. So I already knew the story before I read her whole thing, and we had a conversation, and she said my first agent priced the home way too high, and it was on the market, didn't get any showings, and it sat. So while this home was priced too high, she had another buyer's agent come in, another agent who was showing the home, and I am saying this is horrible. Okay, this story is terrible. So the buyer's agent came in and told the seller that she needed to be paying out a 4% commission to the buyer's agent. What? First of all, it's completely unethical for that buyer's agent to be talking to that seller while they're listed. Completely and totally horrible. Second of all, for that buyer's agent to say that you need to pay out 4% in order for the buyers to show the house and sell the house, that's total BS, okay? I'm just telling you right now. As a real estate agent on the buy side, I don't really look or ask what the commission is before I'm showing homes or expecting. I'm looking for a home for my buyers. Now, there are some agents who might do that, but the bulk majority of agents want to get their buyers into the home that works for them, whatever the commission really is. I mean, sometimes it's a bummer if you're not either getting a small commission or no commission, because then you have to negotiate it with your buyers. But all in all, most agents are going to show their buyers the homes that are going to work best for them, regardless of commission. So the fact that that buyer's agent said that was just completely out of line. So then this buyer's agent proceeds to get the listing from this other listing agent when it expires. I'm just beyond. But what was super interesting is the listing agent took 2% and was paying out 4%. Like, I have not seen that either. I have not seen a listing agent take that low of a commission and pay out that high of a commission if it's not like a flat fee. So I'm already like up in arms thinking this is horrible for our industry. I hate when agents do this. So what happened is that the second agent came in and got the price down to $399. Now it originally started at like $460. And so when that got down to $399, the sellers got nervous that was too low, and they went and hired an appraiser to come out and give them an appraisal on the property. And from there, they ended up listing the property higher based on what the appraiser said, even though they were priced at $399. So then they changed the price and they moved it up to $412. I've got a lot of stuff here, which I've already talked to the seller about, but the reality is that there are two different numbers, the appraised value and the market value. Two different numbers. The appraised value is the number, apples to apples, a home is worth. Bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, age, and condition pretty much. Now, appraisers are using homes from the last 3 to 6 months. If your market is going down, the appraiser is not going to take that into consideration. Now, the reality is that the appraiser is not looking at the fact that there's a whole new home development right next door to these homes. And so while this may be a great home, there are brand new homes being sold just around the corner with a great incentive. New construction, a great buyer incentive. So that's the problem, is you can look at what the appraised value is, but what is that market value? What is a buyer willing to pay for that home? And that's what I need you guys to really, really go deep. The appraised number is one thing. That is a number on paper. That is the number that basically the bank is going to say your home is worth in order to give a loan. But the market value is what you need to be looking at in this crazy market right now, as the market is going down and up. Is somebody willing to pay more money for a house right now because there's no inventory, or because you have something special? Or is somebody paying less because you're on a bad lot, a bad location? There's something wrong with your home. And so if there's something wrong with your home, you have to take that into consideration on the price. So as I said, this person was reaching out to me to say, I need a third agent because both of my other agents are bad. Now, I also kind of take that with a grain of salt, and I did my own research on this too. It's not that they were bad, it's that they overpriced the home, did not give good guidance, and allowed the seller to take that price from $399 back up to $412. And not explain the significance of that. So at this point in talking to her, I hadn't even looked at the house because she was starting to talk about house staging. They had their house empty because they moved into this new construction area across the way. So that's why they're trying to sell their house. So they own 2 homes right now. They had taken their furniture out, and then the agent said, oh no, the reason it's not selling is you have no furniture, and then bringing it back in. And that's not even it. Like, I didn't even get into the condition or the photos before really understanding the situation. Now, the other question that I was asking, and I want you guys to be asking this to yourselves at home again, is what if? So I said to her, okay, what if you don't get what you're looking for? And she's like, well, we have to. I said, but what if you don't? What if you don't get over $400 for your home? She's like, well, we have to. I said, okay, what if you don't? Like, I would say maybe a little short, but that's the point. Is I want you to say to yourselves, be honest with yourselves. Don't sit there and say, but we're going to. I need you to say, what if we don't get this price? And then I need you to say, now what? But she was like, we do have to sell it for $400. I say, but there's a comp on it $375. What if you can't sell it for more than that other house? What if you sell it for $375? She goes, well, we're not going to sell it. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. See, now we're getting somewhere, right? It's not my answer. If you are not going to sell it, what are you going to do? Well, we could rent it. Okay, great. Have you run the numbers? We'll just hold it until the market goes back up. Again, what if the market doesn't go back up? I mean, I can't guarantee anything. And it may go up. Who knows? But I can tell you right now, we're kind of going down. So what if the market doesn't go up? What are you going to do? And she really didn't come to that conclusion of what she would do, because the question is, now what? Now what are you going to do? Because we're not going to get you the price that your house is worth. A home will always sell at a low price. And I asked her, if I put $300,000, if I list this house for $300,000, is somebody going to buy it? She's like, well, yeah. So you can sell your house, but not for the price that you're looking for. So the very, very first thing you guys need to be thinking about in a market that's going down, or if you have a home right now, is what does the price really need to be in order to sell that house? So I don't know her area, and I can give her a guess and I can give her my guidance, which I did. But I said, I am going to give you 2 agents who are really, really knowledgeable in that area. And these agents are going to come in and tell you the God's honest truth. And the reason is because these experienced agents do not take overpriced listings. They won't do it because they know you're going to fire them if they can't sell your house. They know that, and they're not going to take an overpriced listing. So the experienced agents are going to give you the truth. You may not want to hear it, and you may think that they're stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They didn't take into consideration all the comps, all the upgrades you've done. But if an experienced agent comes in and gives you a low price, I want you to listen to that person. So I told her, I'm going to give you 2 agents. And she was like, that is great. I said, after that, I want you to reach back to me and tell me what you thought of them. And we are going to talk this through together. So if you guys are struggling, if you're feeling like you just don't know where to price the house right now, you don't know if your market is going down, you can't ask the what ifs and the now what questions, I want you to reach out to me and my team, we're going to get you an agent, 2 agents to 3 agents in your area who are very experienced, who can help you come up with a strategy and come up with a plan. I've done so many referrals where sellers are reaching back to me and they are saying, thank you so much for your help. I could not have done it without the agent that you referred. And I am there for you guys. I am serious. If you are struggling, if you are having a hard time, I want you to reach out to me. I want you to get that agent, and you can also ask me a question with the contact form below. So I know I've said it. What if, and now what? What if you can't get the price you want, and now what are you going to do? I want you to run those numbers. I want you to really think about it. I want you to have that come to Jesus moment. Also, in my playbook, you're going to see those 5 pillars. The first one, sell with strategy, is so important because you've got to start planning out. And that's where you're going to have all these questions that you can ask about where are you going, what are you doing, how much do you need, all that stuff. The part of the upgrades, I do not want you overspending. I had another person in my Facebook group who reached out the other day. She posted in the Facebook group, and I had to laugh when I saw this because she's talking about how, she had a flood in the house, and then she's thinking about replacing the cabinets, the upper cabinets in the kitchen, but then she was talking about painting the cabinets. And I looked at the cabinets and I was like, oh my gosh, you can't paint these cabinets. And she said, my agent told me I should paint these. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I posted in that comment, I said, I hope that wasn't an agent that I referred. These are not the types of cabinets that you can paint. You're not going to be faking anybody out. So in my playbook, that's the type of thing you're going to learn about is should you be painting your cabinets, things like that. Staging, what you should be doing. Pricing, incredibly important. That's what I talk about here all the time, and hiring an agent. Everything I do is really committed to helping you sell your home fast for more money, stress-free. And I want to be there for you. And this isn't just, I want you to subscribe because I want you to subscribe, and that's not it. I really believe that what I'm putting out to you right now is information you're not going to find anywhere else. I find this in my heart, in my passion, my soul. That is something that I want to be giving to you. So make sure you subscribe. Hopefully I'll be giving you the videos that you are looking for in the future. And don't forget all the resources that I provided to you, the Facebook group, the Seller's Playbook, and Find an Agent. So I'm here for you guys. I just want you to remember, what if you can't sell for the price that you want, and what now are you going to do? Thanks for watching.